The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil. I'm here weekdays to provide NHL projections, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bet. Now available across Canada, I'll be using NorthStar Bet's odds on this show. They offer early NHL odds on the next day's NHL games and a whole lot more, so check them out via the link in the description below. And of course, if you enjoy the show, please like this video right now and subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel if you have not already. But let's get into a schedule breakdown, shall we? This is for Thursday and Friday. Of course, we've got a few games on Friday and a lot to talk about on Thursday. So we'll get into it, but let's just quickly have a look at the updated projected NHL standings and playoff chances. The Edmonton Oilers, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, where do the Oilers sit after winning 3 games in a row? Well, my model has them at 58%. That's their playoff chances right now. I think they're going to spin their tires a lot more than people think they will over the next several weeks, though. So I expect to see a lot of fluctuation there. The Seattle Kraken down to 23% after dropping that game that they had in hand against the Edmonton Oilers, blew that late third period lead. And the Islanders blowing a lead against the Vancouver Canucks. They're down at 11%. Obviously, the Eastern Conference is a lot tougher in terms of the playoff race. So the Isles not in a good spot, but we're going to talk about them a little bit later because they're in action on Thursday. So let's get into the projections. We've got the Detroit Red Wings versus the Ottawa Senators neutral site game in Sweden. Ville Husso, Red Wings starting goaltender, did not make the trip to Sweden with the Red Wings, so James Reimer will be starting versus the Senators today, and third string goalie Alex Lyon might get the next one. So Sens head coach DJ Smith, he did not announce a starter, but Jonas Korpisalo was the first goalie off the ice at practice, so he is expected to be between the pipes as of right now. Small change in the projection with Reimer getting the start. Did not know who it would be at first because this is the first half of a back-to-back for the Red Wings. And with that change, the Ottawa Senators are now a minus 110 favorite according to the projection model. So there are some shops that are starting to show some value on the Detroit Red Wings. NorthStar Bet's currently plus 108 on the Detroit side. But we're seeing some shops move up to as high as plus 115, maybe even plus 120. If plus 120 becomes widely available at regulated sportsbooks, then I will be locking that in because I think it is a good bet. Let's just say it'll be a half unit play for me as of right now in case I don't get to update you. That will only happen if those odds are widely available. The Arizona Coyotes at Columbus Blue Jackets, odds have moved overnight toward the Coyotes, but not enough to justify a bet on the Blue Jackets. Elvis Merzlikins is expected to get the start for Columbus on Thursday, so the Coyotes minus 114 according to the projection model. The Columbus Blue Jackets coming back on the other side right now at even money. The Coyotes minus 120, so not much of any interest on this one. Not really any interest here for me either with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Montreal Canadiens. Sounds like Caden Primo is going to get the start for the Canadiens, but I'm monitoring this next game as I talked about on Wednesday's show. The New Jersey Devils at the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tristan Jarry will likely start for the Penguins on Thursday. Evgeny Malkin missed practice due to an illness on Wednesday. I've got him listed as a game time decision, and that will likely end up playing, so I think there's a better than 50% chance that Malkin ends up in the lineup. Still no word on whether Jack Hughes will be in the Devils lineup, though. It sounds like Saturday is the likely date for his return, but if he is in the lineup on Thursday, you'd better run to bet the Devils in the plus 120s range. My model says Pittsburgh should be a minus 135 favorite if he's not in the lineup. But if that switches and he is in the lineup, then the Penguins, they'll only be regarded as a minus 105 favorite. So there'd be a ton of value betting on the Devils if that's the case. So keep that in mind for sure. The Tampa Bay Lightning at the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, Lightning goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky is making progress. Head coach John Cooper said that the team expects him to be back between the pipes on December 1st or a little earlier. So sometime around that time is when we should expect to see Vasilevsky back. I would say it'll probably be earlier, but nothing really of note here with the Blackhawks and the Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning minus 190 at NorthStar Bets. The Chicago Blackhawks plus 155. So it's Blackhawks or nothing, but it will likely be nothing given that there is not a big edge on this one. So the Vancouver Canucks, they rallied to beat the Islanders in overtime on Wednesday. I originally had Casey DeSmith projected to get the start in that one, but head coach Rick Tocchet went with starting goaltender Thatcher Demko instead. So that means I've now got DeSmith projected to start against Calgary in the second half of a back-to-back. So the Canucks are bigger dogs than they were originally projected to be. Vancouver plus 118 on the money line, according to the projection model. Andrei Kuzmenko was hit in the face with a shot late in Wednesday's game. Did not have time to return. He's listed as day-to-day, but I'm penciling him into the lineup, at least for now. So I might end up on the Canucks here. We'll see. There is some value showing around the market here. At NorthStar Bets, they are plus 114, Calgary minus 137 on the money line. So if it gets up into that plus 125 range, which very well could, I will consider a small bet on the Vancouver Canucks at that point, but it won't be something I will be rushing to do. And I guess bonus points if Demko goes back to back, but I doubt that will happen. So anyway, the New York Islanders, talked a little bit about them off the top of the show. They're in Seattle taking on the Kraken. The Kraken also on the second half of a back-to-back, so both teams will be tired here. But this is quite possibly the ugliest game on the card. The Islanders, they haven't won a single game as an underdog all year. They're 0-7 as underdogs. Seattle, they're 5-12 straight up overall, 2-5 straight up at home. This is a tough one, right? The Seattle Kraken, according to the projection model, minus 110, 52.4% chance of winning. I would not touch this one with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't bet this one with your money. This is an ugly game. The Kraken minus 115, no value there. The Islanders minus 106 on the other side, no value there. Now, as you may have guessed, based on the hat choice today, the LA Kings, I said on Wednesday's show that I'd like to bet the Kings at better odds. They were at minus 136 yesterday, and thanks to an overnight line movement, that's what I'm going to do. Los Angeles, widely available now at minus 130, even minus 125, and I think minus 125 is so available that I'm going to lock the Kings in at that price right now. Minus 125 to win 1 unit on the LA Kings. And that will be my best bet for Thursday's show. Of course, I've got that bet on the St. Louis Blues locked in, and I'm very happy about that because we got a great price, minus 148. Even in the minus 160s, I said it was still a good bet, and they're up to minus 195 at NorthStar Bets, so right where I said they should be. And I'm tracking the LA Kings minus 125 to win 1 unit. That will be my best bet for Thursday. But like I said, I'm on the Kings in addition to the St. Louis Blues at minus 148. Would not bet the Blues now, of course, but I am happy with that bet. And now I'm adding the Kings at minus 125. So hopefully I'll win a unit on the Blues, hopefully win a unit on the Kings, and keep this train rolling because it's been a good stretch here for the puck portfolio. Really, it's been a good grind all season long. Never had any real setbacks yet, so hopefully things will keep going in that direction. But let's get into Friday's game, shall we? The Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Detroit Red Wings, another neutral site game, the second Global Series game. It'll be played at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. The Red Wings playing their second game in as many days against the Maple Leafs. I'd guess Alex Lyon will be in goal, unless Reimer has a great game against the Sens and the team feels he's worthy of another go in net. But right now, the Maple Leafs on the money line, according to the projection model, minus 144. So that's pretty much with what we're seeing at sportsbooks right now. NorthStar Bets has the Maple Leafs as a minus 150 favorite. I doubt I'll be betting on either side here. I do have some interest in this next game, though. The Buffalo Sabres, they're at Winnipeg taking on the Jets on Friday. Look, Alex Tuch, he was at Sabres practice in a non-contact jersey. He's been targeting a Friday return. He did participate in line rushes on the Sabres top top forward line. But if I had to guess, he's probably going to end up being a game time decision on Friday. Tage Thompson won't be in the lineup, though, for the foreseeable future, which hurts the Sabres offense a ton and takes a key cog out of their penalty kill unit. I think Thompson's work on the penalty kill had been really good year to date. As far as betting on this game, though, there are a couple of things, as I just mentioned, that I'm pretty worried about here. So first is Alex Tuch's status. Will he play? He's a difference maker. And I'd like to have more information on whether or not he will be in the lineup before I make a bet. Given that he participated in line rushes, I think the chances that he plays, they sound pretty good. So I've got him penciled into the lineup, factored into that projection there that you see on the screen. 62.4% chance in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. That equates to a minus 166 money line, which is what we're seeing basically around the market right now. And the second thing that I'm worrying about here is that this is the first half of a back-to-back for the Jets. They'll play host to the Arizona Coyotes on Saturday, and that means Laurent Brossoit will likely start one of these games. So if I was to assume Tuch will not return to the lineup on Friday, which doesn't seem like a good bet to make given the information that we have right now, and also that Hellebuyck would be in goal, which seems iffy at best, given that it's a back-to-back, I could justify betting on the Jets, because I think the money line odds should be closer to minus 190 if that's the case. If Hellebuyck is in goal and Tuch is not in the lineup. However, if both of those things go against the Jets, Tuch returns and Hellebuyck gets the night off, I would really regret laying the chalk here, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold off. And for anybody that's wondering, no, Alex Tuch is not worth all of that. He doesn't make the Sabres go from minus 166 to minus 190. It's the fact that it's a cluster of injuries. It's Alex Tuch and it's Tage Thompson, and that really hurts to lose two impactful players out of your top six. And lastly, it's the Anaheim Ducks. They're playing host to the Florida Panthers. Now, according to Impredictable's NHL betting market rankings, the Ducks are the fifth worst team in the NHL. My model says they're the fourth worst team in the league, but it seems like I'm a little bit higher on Anaheim than the market, and that doesn't really feel right considering how bad they look most of the time in spite of their record. So the Ducks plus 152, according to the projection model. Would not look forward to playing the Ducks. Probably would pass on a small edge, would only consider it if the line got really out of hand, which it hasn't up to this point. So right now, no bets for Friday. There are just 3 games. Nothing really of note there. Nothing really to chase here. Could have got down on the Jets maybe at an earlier price at some shops, but that would still be done with some uncertainty here, given we don't know who's going to start in goal for Winnipeg. We don't know whether Alex Tuch is going to be in the lineup for the Sabres, and those are some pretty big things to consider. So the Jets, not a play as of right now. The Kings, though, minus 125 to beat the Florida Panthers on Thursday to win 1 unit. And, of course, we got that bet on the St. Louis Blues at minus 148 to win 1 unit. Lots of line value there. You should have tuned into the show Thursday, even if it wasn't a pick-heavy show. But I'm guessing that you guys have kind of figured out that I'm not going to force anything. I'm only looking for the value bets. And if there are no value bets, then I'll have to take things pretty easy on those days. But we've got a big weekend of hockey coming up. And on Friday's show, I will be back to preview not just Friday's games, which we've taken an early look at here already, but I'll be looking ahead to Saturday, looking for the best betting value on Saturday. So keep it locked here to the Puck Portfolio weekdays on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcast. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. I will see you on Friday.